Hey small animals, this video is for those of you that want to see the PowerPoint read out loud to you or get some additional info from me as we go through it. So this video is going to be over our hospital procedures PowerPoint that I have up on the screen here, and we're going to go ahead and get started right away. So first off, one of the hospital procedures that we have for our small animals or our pets is a lot of times they'll ask if they're spayed or neutered. So a spay is going to be a removal of the ovaries and the entire uterus. That one's right here. So that's a female thing that's going on. Neutering is going to be more for the male, and that's going to be like castration, as we often refer to it, and that'll be removal of the testes. The next thing that goes into more like veterinary procedures for our pets and our animals is going to be about dental care. This is just as important for pets as it is for humans. Cats and dogs are susceptible to gingivitis and periodontal disease. Gingivitis is an inflammation and infection of the sensitive gums around the teeth. I know that's pretty common. I know our dentist has like signs all over for humans, I guess in their office, about what that is and how to prevent it. So likely just as important for cats and dogs. Periodontal disease is an advanced stage of gingivitis where the gingiva separates from the tooth and decay of the tooth sets in. So that's when they really start to go bad. The CRT test is a way that you can test for the health of the gums in your pets, and that was shared in the animal checkups PowerPoint, where you push on the gums and see how fast they come back to pink. So that can be something you guys can do that on yourself and kind of see what that looks like too. It'll work the same way as what it would for an animal. The next one, we have just an image of what this is a dog tooth in particular, what that's going to look like. So this would be on the bottom row down here, where you can see like where it protrudes outside of the gum right here. There's bone underneath that hold it in, and then the tooth itself and the enamel that surrounds it, that's like the protective coating. That our teeth also have that, just to protect that like particular dentin, as it's called in here, or the bone, from breaking down. So just so you guys get an image of what that looks like, we've included that. Signs of poor oral health in our pets and our animals. First off, persistent bad breath. So a lot of times you'll see in the grocery stores like bones that are for dogs to chew on that like promote good breath. That would be one way that you can help your pet not have bad breath. It also depends on what you feed them and those kinds of things. If they have a hard time eating, as we learned before school got out, our pet foods are really hard, right? And it's like a composition of broken down materials that have been like formed together, grinded, melted all together. So if our pets aren't able to eat that, that's a great sign that maybe their teeth aren't as healthy as we thought. Loss of appetite. Oh my goodness. That would be another sign. Inflamed or bleeding gums. That is always going to be a sign of poor oral health. I know, disclaimer, my dentist is always on me about like flossing, because every time I floss at the dentist office, my gums bleed and everything. So he always tells me I'm not doing good enough. Tartar, that's going to be buildup of plaque on your teeth. So when they go into the dentist office and they scrape everything off, they're scraping off that tartar. So your pets can have that too, obviously. Excessive pawing at the mouth. You may or may not have seen this. It's when an animal's going to be like, yeah. And then loose or missing teeth. That one should be pretty obvious to see. All right, causes of disease in our pets and animals that would relate to our hospital procedures here that we're talking about today. First off, we have infectious diseases. I will say you might see some of these diseases in here that you looked up on a couple days ago in your diseases profile assignment. But this is like an overall, like, just get to know what's harmful or not, I guess. So infectious diseases, these are going to be caused by bacteria, viruses, fungi. I don't know how to say the next two words. Rickettsial, helminths, protozoa, and arthropods. Sorry guys, I'm not an expert either, apparently. They're going to enter through the skin, mouth, mucous membranes, lungs, or reproductive tracts of our animals. Direct transmission, that's going to be how our animals get these diseases. It's going to be through direct skin contact, so like high five, woo. Our pets can rub against each other. That'd be one way. Ingestion of an infected animal, like a smaller animal that they might eat. I know like cats eat a lot of mice, so that'd be a great example of that. Inhalation of the disease, they're just like breathing it in. Sexual reproductive contact will be the other one. Indirect transmission of our diseases. There's going to be vectors like mosquitoes, fleas, ticks, flies. As we know, those are all not super great for our animals. Vehicles like equipment. We have brushes and buckets. Instruments through like needles or scissors. That's why sterilization is always important. Utensils or formites like water, air, soil, and food. So as they absorb those materials, they can be passed into the body, and then they'll get those infectious diseases. The second type of disease is our non-infectious disease. These cannot be passed to humans or animals from other like humans and animals. They're caused by dysfunctions of body systems, nutritional deficiencies, poisoning, physical injuries, stress, genetics, or environment. So a great example of this is going to be like cancer. You usually won't get that from another animal or another human, but it's just built into your genes and it just happens the way it does. So that's a great example of a non-infectious disease. When we talk about immunity or our pet's ability to actually like not get a disease, that means this is a function of the lymph system and protects the body from infection, disease, and foreign bodies. So that's our ability to fight off those bad things. Passive immunity is when an animal is given antibodies from another animal. So example here is a mother can give antibodies to their young through the colostrum. And passive immunity is usually going to be short term, so not for their whole life is what we're talking about. Active immunity is going to be the other type. Antibodies and this are produced by natural or artificial means in response to the antigen. Awesome. Oh, we're back to dental care. Not sure why this is out of order like that, but we're gonna keep it this way because it sounds great. At home, things you can do for dental care for your pets. You can handle their mouth, make sure everything's good to go. Use a small toothbrush to scrub their teeth. Use a pet toothpaste. Don't use the human toothpaste. It's not good for them. We always know, like, okay, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure this has to do with the fact, like, if you stick something in an animal's mouth, they're going to eat it, right? Same as, like, a toddler where they have to have that special toothpaste, or a kid that they could, like, swallow and not, like, get hurt from. But, like, when you get to be, like, an older adult, like, you know you're going to put that toothpaste on, and then you're going to spit most of it out, right? Our pets are not going to do that, so that's why it's important to use pet toothpaste. You're going to brush them at least twice a week. And then feed them dry food instead of wet food. That'll be better for their teeth. And rawhide shoes will also cut down on tartar buildup. So again, that's that plaque that we talked about. It's making me feel my teeth up. Okay, vaccines. Let's get to talking about this. Vaccines are a substance that upon injection into an animal stimulate an immune response. So same way that we get our flu shot every fall, hopefully, that's what we're doing for our animals. There's two types of vaccines. The modified live version is the first one. This is going to be altered forms of antigens that are similar enough to the original disease-causing agent to cause a strong immune response without causing the disease itself. So this is going to be the most common type. I know, like with COVID-19, this is the type they're trying to create and find antibodies for so that they can fight it off really strong. If we go into the kill type of vaccine, these are disease-causing agents that are inactivated by heat, chemical, or mechanical means. So that means they kill off that bad disease-causing agent. And immunity in these are going to be weaker than the modified live type. So again, that modified live type, you have a better chance at fighting off a disease that might come your way. Animals might be allergic to the compound that has destroyed the agent, so like that heat, chemical, or mechanical mean. And that's why these are a little more risky, and you have to be careful. Alright, diseases that we vaccinate for in dogs. Some of these might have been in your book. Otherwise, if you're interested, you can go ahead and look them up. I think that'd be super awesome. Bordetella or kennel cough, coronavirus. Ooh, that should sound similar or familiar, I guess. But I want you guys to know that it's not the exact same. Like, you can't catch it from your dog. You should be safe. Distemper, infectious hepatitis, leptospirosis, Lyme disease, parainfluenza, parvovirus, and rabies. Our cat vaccinations are going to be for feline calicivirus, feline infectious peritonitis, feline leukemia virus, feline viral rhinotracheotitis, panleukopenia, and rabies. Oh my gosh, thank you for bearing with me through that because that was rough. Alright, our routes of administration for our vaccines. Our common routes are going to be the ones listed below. They're going to be oral, nasal, through the nose. Subcutaneous is going to be under the skin, so like the shots that we get right under the skin, not super deep shot. IM or intramuscular is going to be in the muscles, so that's usually what they'll find in your arm here. IP or intraperitoneal is going to be in the abdominal cavity, or like down here in your stomach area. And IV is in the vein, so like usually when you get them right in your hand right here. This image right here shows where those all are. The only one I didn't say was oral was through the mouth right here. That'll usually be done by like medicine though. So check this one out. It shows you where those locations are on the pet. When we're talking about needles, they come in many shapes and sizes. The smaller the gauge, the larger the needle. So large needles are going to be like a 16, 18, 20 gauge. These are going to be used for horses, swine, and cattle. And smaller needles are going to be 21, 22, 23, 25, and 27. Those are going to be used for our cats, dogs, and exotics. Alright, syringes. There's a lot of common sizes of syringes as well. For our pets and animals, they're going to be insulin, 1, 3, 6, 12, 20, 35, and 60 milliliters. 1 milliliter syringes are called tuberculin syringes. The smallest is going to be the insulin syringe right here. It comes with an attached needle and measured in increments called units. There's different styles of tips of our syringes. Just to get you familiar with these, we got the Luer lock tip that has a threaded tip to hold the needle securely. A slip tip is going to be a standard syringe tip. An eccentric tip is going to be used to get a straighter angle, and a catheter tip is going to be used to administer oral medications or liquefied food. Sometimes we just have to ingest it or put it right into their body so they are able to use that medicine faster, and that's why we would do those things. It's important to know while we're filling a syringe that there should not be any air bubbles. This could cause disturbances in blood circulation or death. I know this is a really common thing. Oh, this is bad. I watch a lot of Criminal Minds, and I feel like this is a common way that they like kill people in the show is they put like air into like a person's IV because it'll get in your bloodstream and it can like just like kill you on the spot. It's really bad. Don't do it. But that's why it's important not to do it for our pets either, right? And make sure it's filled to the correct amount so we're always giving the proper dosage. Alright. Dispensing and labeling medication. You need knowledge of math and the laws required for giving that medicine. You're required by law to include on the labels the name of the veterinarian, address, phone, and clinic name, patient's name and species, that would be the pet, name of medication, the concentration or how much you're giving them, and the number of units dispensed. The directions for use is the next one. That includes the route of administration, so that goes back up to this picture here. And the dosing interval, so how much you're going to give them. So an example of this is going to be 3 times for 5 days, the date or the expiration, and a warning statement for veterinarian use. This is just an image of what a label might look like, so you guys have that. Otherwise, that is this whole PowerPoint. So good luck on your assignment. I'll see you later.